Right, there we go. Oh yeah, I'm definitely noticing those overwhelms. Okay, this is it's kind of doing a lot more damage than I thought. So I finally did it. I found the final gift I was missing with the gift rework. Overwhelming Afflictions. It's an overwhelm gift, kind of, sort of. Every stack of burn, bleed, and curse on a target gives a 1% chance to overwhelm with weapons and trinkets against that target. So, with that being said, this is going to be the debuff run. We're going to try and get as many debuffs as possible onto the enemy, and that's Curse Critical is going to be our very first one there. Doesn't say anything about goo, so it must be just those status effects that you can see on top of the enemy. So right now, we've got Curse out of the way with our alter attacks, or criticals, yeah, which is alter attacks. Really, what would be most ideal would be like a bleed aura and a burn aura. And then there you go, we have everything we could possibly need. Very nice. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I think we don't actually want the bleed aura. We want the fishing rod because that applies bleed. So right now we're going to have curse from curse criticals. Yes. Then we'll also have the bleed from the fishing rod. And then we'll just need to find burn somehow. Maybe little fiery claws or the trinket. Okay, now we're starting to, you saw those overwhelms there? We're starting to get there, slowly but surely. Remember, every stack that we get is 1%, so just with those two we're at 25, but we do need a little bit more that we'll hopefully get from burn. Applies burn. There we go. Okay, so now we have every single one of these three. We have bleed from the fishing rod, burn from the goo bomb, and then curse from curse criticals. So let's see if we can actually get those three on an enemy. Yeah, it's going to be really hard with the impact tone. Wait, my game just crashed from trying to get all three. What? Wait, everything just froze. Never mind. I guess we'll have to wait until Headbanger. Even better, another source of curse. Perfect. Okay, so here how it should be working. We have bleed from the fishing rod, right? Specifically the fishing rod's alter attack. Then our criticals are applying curse, as well as our Hibiki's umbrella, which also applies curse. Doesn't really matter what the percentage is as long as we get more stacks. And then finally we have bleed or burn from the goo bomb. So it's not going to be 100% uptime just because we have cooldowns right now. We're pretty early on in the run. But in theory, we should be able to get, what is it, 35%, 40% off of overwhelming afflictions. So let's see if we notice the overwhelms. So let's get some stacks on before we goo bomb. Right, there we go. Oh yeah, I'm definitely noticing those overwhelms. Okay, this is it's kind of doing a lot more damage than I thought. Wow, okay. Let's see, does it work on the head as well? Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, I saw that 1,000 damage there from the overwhelm. That's pretty good. Okay, we got a little bit of a debuff run going on. I like it. Yes, okay. That's exactly why I bought Elbro to get burn on it. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So actually, we don't need Goo Bomb anymore. Because Goo Bomb is just a one-time thing, basically. Very nice, very nice. Okay, I'm pretty happy now. So now we got burn on this on a consistent basis. We got curse there, and then we got bleed there. So it's not super consistent, but it's a lot more consistent than what it was. Now, the only problem is that the enemies need to survive long enough for me to get all of the debuffs onto them in the first place. But I'm pretty happy with how it is right now. So if I'm, hold on, let me think. If we get 10 from Curse, and then Bleed goes up to 15. I think Burn also goes up to 15. So 10 plus 15 plus 15, so it should be 40. That's right. 15 plus 15 is 30, and then 10 is 40. Yeah, so 40% chance to overwhelm on every hit. Weapons and trinkets. I mean, yeah, it's kind of busted. Let's try it here on this enemy. Okay. he didn't he didn't get a chance to survive. Oh, actually, Anchor is really good because it does apply can burn. Oh no, but we have burn already. Yeah, it's better to keep the Hibiki's umbrella because that's another form of curse. Actually, I don't know. This is really difficult keeping track of all of these debuffs. But hey, we've got the build working. All right, against this elite, let's see. Oh, those bombs falling down are gonna be a pain. I mean, you can hear the overwhelm, like those metallic clinks. It is, we're doing work here. We're doing work with these overwhelms. This would be crazy, like if I go endless just to keep all of these things, because there are gifts in the game to increase the amount of bleed you can have and the amount of burn as well. So that would just essentially guarantee 100%, or as close to 100% as you can get on Overwhelm. Everything's just getting absolutely shredded. This is kind of crazy. I didn't know this would be this good. I think Curse Trap might be better just so we can drop it and get the full-on curse. We don't have to worry about ramping it up with our cursed criticals. Fortunately, we can't group enemies up anymore with Detonator, but that should be fine. Everything's dying pretty quickly. So satisfying, man. That noise is so satisfying. Oh, an elite clone. I don't think he's gonna stand much of a chance against this build. Okay. Honestly, this might be my favorite build yet, because I've always liked the debuffs. They're satisfying to watch the number go up and up. Maybe it's from my World of Warcraft days where I just love watching, all the buffs and debuffs on like in PvP, just watching them stack up against my opponent. Just knowing they're completely debilitated by all the status effects, all the debuffs and damage increases and all that. But I do like it, and this is finally just taking advantage of that with, giving the chance to overwhelm, and the sound effect being satisfying does help things along. I mean, just look at all the little lightning bolts. Like, just all you need to do is look and see all those overwhelmed. Okay, honestly, this might be better, I think, for the bleed part. And curse we can just keep stacking, I think. Alright, let's see how it ranks up against the Memo Reaper. Gotta get all of our debuffs on. Try not to die as well, that does help, yeah. I mean, just look at his health bar. I mean, he doesn't have one, basically. Wow. Okay, then. Yeah, I think the goal is to get your affixes to apply everything, and then that way we can just focus on the damage gifts. But right now I'm pretty happy getting all this in my first go around. It's not too shabby. I think I just want to hold on to my money for now. That's ridiculous. It really is. Okay, so before we do this, let's just put everything together. So this is Overwhelming Afflictions. Every stack of the debuffs gives a 1% chance to overwhelm with weapons and trinkets. Of course, we get Bleed from the Fishing Rod Altar, also from the Bleed Aura. We get Curse from Curse Criticals, as well as Hibiki's Umbrella. And then finally we get Burn from El Bro, who's always firing, always doing his thing. So altogether, that's going to be 45% chance to overwhelm if we have max of everything on the enemy, which in turn should result in big damage. So let's see if that big damage appears in this fight. So if you're looking at his health bar, it certainly looked like big damage was present. But let's see on red, because red is going to be a little bit tankier, because we're doing him second. I get hit because I'm not paying attention, but you can hear all the overwhelm procs. Oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. Everything's just overwhelming. So let's see, let's get the fishing rod in there. And I think the boing fish would overwhelm too, right? Yeah, we did. Looks like we had some overwhelm hits in there, I think. But his health bar is pretty much gone, and the fight just started. So rest in peace, Blue. You were a worthy adversary. And looks like this build is cracked. This build is just, or this gift specifically is pretty good. Now, I think it's more so suited for Endless when you get a bunch of affixes and maybe you have, you're applying these 3 debuffs more often. But right now, just doing, my first loop, the damage was pretty solid. And this is an unconventional combination of weapons. Typically, I don't run these 2 weapons together at all. So, definitely worked out. I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, so that is pretty much the build for Cataclysmic. I mean, that was definitely a different, different run than usual. Because typically I don't run these 2 weapons together and getting all the debuffs. I've never really needed to do that, but Overwhelming Afflictions certainly gives me a good reason to do so. So that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is probably one of my new favorite builds. It's just really fun and satisfying to get all these debuffs and to get Overwhelm pretty much constantly using them. So that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the Vortex.